Imagine people who didn't just escape the police or Interpol. We're talking about those who managed to outsmart the CIA, one of the most technologically advanced intelligence agencies in the world. People who vanished so cleanly that they remain phantoms to this day. Their cases are studied by analysts, whispered about by real operatives, and their disappearances still puzzle intelligence services worldwide. Today, 10 people who outplayed the CIA and disappeared. Number 10, Robert Bobby Ladlow, the informant who vanished on the day of the failed operation. Ladlow was a key CIA informant in Guatemala in the late 1990s. His intel was used in several covert missions targeting cartel structures. But when one operation collapsed and 2 CIA agents were exposed, Ladlow was scheduled for immediate extraction. Yet on the evacuation day, he never showed up at the meeting point, even though 3 CIA cover teams were monitoring him. His transmitter signal disappeared in 14 seconds, faster than any standard interception scenario. The CIA believes he used a reverse tail technique, disappearing through intentionally misleading routes. Neither cartels nor intelligence agencies ever found him. To this day, he remains one of the cleanest disappearances in CIA history. Number 9, Adele van de Van, the invisible recruiter who broke 3 CIA operations. A Belgian citizen working as a double agent for both European and Middle Eastern intelligence services. Adele operated surgically. She targeted consulate employees, exploited personal weaknesses, and sold information without leaving a paper trail. In 2011, the CIA traced her involvement in 3 failed recruitment operations. Agents located her apartment in Bonn, but when they entered, it was empty, and her computer contained only one encrypted file she managed to erase manually. Her phone's final signal was recorded at Copenhagen Airport, and then complete silence. No intelligence service in the world has been able to locate her since. Number 8, Mr. X, the quiet saboteur who paralyzed CIA databases. His real name is still classified, so in internal documents he appears simply as Mr. X. He was an IT contractor for multiple government structures and had access to low-level networks, the kind of people who seem invisible until they disappear. In 2006, he implanted a self-restoring malicious module into one of the CIA's protected networks. It activated only in the event of his arrest or death. When the CIA detected anomalies and the security team moved in to apprehend him, X vanished 48 minutes before the raid. His car was found in a parking lot in Maryland, but inside, nothing. Network activity logs showed that he remotely wiped 25 terabytes of agency logs, but did it in a way that individual data blocks looked like ordinary SSD corruption. For almost 20 years, both the FBI and CIA have been trying to understand the exact mechanism he used. Mr. X remains the first contractor who didn't just flee. He erased himself. Number 7, Ivan Kuznetsov, the Russian defector who vanished from CIA custody. Little is known about him, but enough to understand the scale. In 2014, Kuznetsov provided the U.S. with information on surveillance software purchases across Europe. He was held at a classified facility in Virginia under 24/7 protection. But one morning, agents found the room empty, the cameras disabled for exactly 37 seconds, and the door unlocked with a code. Kuznetsov himself did not know. The CIA believes Kuznetsov had pre-installed a vulnerability in the security system using ordinary household gadgets, smoke detectors, an IPTV box, even a phone charger. He assembled a hidden transmitter that allowed him to blind the cameras with perfect timing. His disappearance became a massive CIA failure. It's still unclear whether outside forces helped him or he escaped alone. Last trace: a detected warm Wi-Fi zone in the port of Baltimore. After that, nothing. Gotovo, bro. Number 6, Daniel Morgan, the analyst who extracted classified archives using only his mind. Morgan worked in a CIA division that analyzed illegal financial operations across Europe. He was a memory genius. The memory palace method allowed him to memorize thousands of lines of data after a single reading. In 2010, he demonstrated his skill during a briefing. He recited a 120-page report word for word, including dates, sums, and cipher codes. From that moment, he was kept under near constant supervision, but Morgan only needed one business trip to Zurich. He left his hotel without luggage, without a phone, without a passport. On the table, he left a single note: information should belong to the world. The CIA claims Morgan carried out nearly 40,000 lines of classified data, yet physically took nothing. Everything was stored in his mind. His last trace was a station camera in Bern. Since then, nothing. No leaks, no sightings. As if the man simply turned himself off from reality. Number 5. Michael Hale, the engineer who fooled the CIA with their own surveillance tools. Hale was a signals specialist and developer of radio frequency interception systems. He knew every weakness of surveillance devices, from GPS beacons to shortwave sensors. In 2015, he fell under suspicion of passing technology to a private firm. The CIA placed him under full-spectrum monitoring, vehicle tracking, microphones hidden in the house, laser window sensors, and covert optics inside his router. But that was their mistake. Hale built a silence bubble, a homemade field created from jamming generators, old speakers, and a modified Wi-Fi module. When activated, his house became a blind zone. No microphone, no sensor transmitted anything. 11 minutes later, he was gone. The investigation found that he used a route passing through 3 mobile dead zones, the same ones he helped map for the CIA. In 2016, he was reportedly seen in Buenos Aires, but no sighting was ever confirmed. Hale is considered one of the few engineers who managed to shut down an entire surveillance ecosystem, the one he himself helped create. Number 4. Oleg Gordievsky, the man who fooled the KGB MI6 and disappeared right under the CIA's nose. Gordievsky was one of MI6's most valuable double agents deep inside the KGB. He supplied the British with intel on Soviet intelligence structure, recruitment operations, and even warned London about upcoming political provocations. But in 1985, the USSR suspected him of leaking information. He was about to be arrested, and the CIA advised MI6 to cancel the extraction. Too risky, too loud, too unpredictable. MI6 went all in anyway. They launched the legendary Operation PIMLICO. Gordievsky had to escape the USSR while lying in the trunk of a car under potato sacks, through blocked roads, patrols, dogs, and non-stop inspections. But he made it. After he fled to the UK, the CIA tried to gain access to him, but MI6 hid him under such extreme secrecy that even American agents could communicate with him only through intermediaries, and then Gordievsky disappeared again. He changed his name, address, and security protocol. No journalists, no intelligence services, no former colleagues know where he is now. Rumor says he lives in a ghost village, accessible only to a tiny inner circle of MI6. Number 3. Felipe Valderrama, the cyber specialist who breached CIA servers and vanished into the network. Valderrama is one of the most mysterious figures of the 21st century. Officially, a programmer from Bogota. Unofficially, the man who found a hole inside the CIA's digital surveillance tools. He discovered a flaw in a distributed logging system used for anonymous monitoring of foreign networks. Using this vulnerability, he could track the people who were tracking others. In 2014, he accessed the internal test clusters of Langley. He didn't download files, he didn't copy documents, and he simply watched. A nightmare scenario for the CIA, someone monitoring their agent network while staying invisible. When the CIA launched a capture operation, Valderrama evaporated. Laptop, wiped using a thermal method. Router, reflashed with a unique custom build. Hard drive, destroyed chemically. Last signals, routed through 3 TOR relays that were never seen online again. His final activity, a message on a Spanish forum. Las sombras también observan. The shadows are watching too. Since then, zero traces. Number 2, Victor Huerta, the master of disappearances who escaped CIA surveillance 7 times in a row. Huerta was a former CISEN intelligence officer working near the US-Mexico border. He took part in operations against cartel groups while secretly consulting the Americans. But one day he vanished, along with an archive of contacts, schedules, transport routes, and surveillance maps. The CIA is convinced he sold part of the intel to cartels and part to rival agencies. But they couldn't prove a thing. In 2011, Huerta became the most wanted shadow broker in the region. And then the impossible happened. He slipped past CIA surveillance 7 times, dodging prepared routes and sniper overwatch teams. He used fake logistics routes with mirrored timing, burner decoy phones, professional gate impersonators, and blind districts, gaps where U.S. cameras don't overlap. The last confirmed sighting was in Guatemala, but within 24 hours he split into 3 different escape paths: a car convoy, an airport traveler, and a motorcyclist. All 3 turned out to be decoys. Huerta's identity is now officially classified as lost. Rumor says he works as a consultant for an Asian intelligence agency, earning over $2 million per year for his evasion expertise. Number 1, Edward Snowden, the man who outsmarted the NSA, CIA, and vanished, leaving the US in shock. Snowden is the most dangerous defector of the 21st century. Because he knew everything. He worked for the CIA, then the NSA, with access to PRISM, XKEYSCORE, and global digital surveillance systems. He did the impossible. Downloaded gigabytes of classified data from agencies that monitor the entire internet. And yet, not a single system noticed the breach in time. Only after The Guardian published the leaks did the world grasp the scale. Snowden exposed global U.S. surveillance programs, monitoring methods, allied espionage, and weaknesses in cyber defense. When the CIA and NSA launched a manhunt, he moved through Hong Kong and then flew to Moscow. The U.S. canceled his passport, shut down travel routes, demanded his extradition, but he still disappeared. Today he lives in Russia under full secrecy. Snowden gained citizenship, works in cybersecurity, and earns $500,000 to $700,000 a year, consulting companies and speaking at closed conferences. To the CIA, he remains the man who not only escaped, but broke the very system he was hired to protect.